We have been talking about the expansion of Walt Disney Studios for a long time, but one part of the whole project that hasn't been discussed a lot, perhaps because of the lack of information, has been the side of the park that is already built, and that unfortunately is not in a very good shape. The production courtyard is almost unchanged since the opening of the park, and that's a problem, as there is little theming and shade or greenery. That part is mostly a flat, big concrete surface, but now that's all about to change. Let's explore what the plans are for this side of Walt Disney Studios right now.
Oh boy!
Hey there and welcome to the Main Street News. If you're new to the channel and are interested, make sure to subscribe and join our community by following us on Twitter and Discord. We also have a Patreon in case you want to support what I do even more. Now, let's get into it. OutsidEars is the king of plans and information when talking about the Parisian resort, and this week they released a very anticipated and quite incredible piece of work. Ali, the well-known co-creator of the website, has been working for the past couple of weeks on modeling this whole side of the park, using the new and unreleased plans, which creates this very well-made first look into how studios will be like when the works are finally finished. If you want, make sure to check their amazing article, which is linked down below. Also, check our video on the amazing rumors for the whole resort I made a few weeks ago. So, as I said, the area that has been modeled was Production Courtyard. Funnily enough, OutsidEars call this the Theater District. While the name might ring some bells and make you remember an older project, this time there will be no new theaters. We also have this amazing overview map that shows everything. Let's start on Studio 1. This huge indoor boulevard will close later this year, which is yet to be confirmed by Disney, and many works will be done inside to upgrade the experience. I'll talk about them in a minute. You will exit Studio 1 and truly enter the park via a new awning. No more of those ugly and heavy green doors. This 200 square meter structure will divide the crowds into two and allow for easier access into and from Studio 1. The famous partner statue showcasing Mickey and Walt will be moved back a few meters and now face the newly revitalized park. If you now take a look at the current production courtyard, it is exactly that. A concrete-filled, shadeless, flat and honestly ugly courtyard. Now, a new street perpendicular to Hollywood Boulevard will be created, which will lead guests from the main road to Avengers Campus and Worlds of Pixar. This new street will have new floors, some similar to those of Avengers Campus, as well as many new planters, trees, lampposts, and smaller details. One of the new planters will be just on the entrance of Animation Celebration, which will include this amazing statue being reused from the current entrance of Toon Studio. These new changes are not very big or incredible, but they will play a huge role on the revitalization of this area. It looks so much better than what there is now. Throughout the video I'll showcase these before and after shots so you can have an idea of the transformation. The Hollywood Boulevard facades will be preserved, but the fake cardboard buildings will be torn down and replaced by trees. This main street type of road will be the big focus as the new lake comes closer and closer to being complete. This will now lead guests to a huge rosette connecting the current space to the promenade and then the rest of the park. Here you can see how this will look from the other side. Notice the rosette on the ground. We've seen that area. Let's now move to the right side of the park. Here that street will fade into a small plaza, and the old layout of Toon Studio will pave the way for several new areas with many planters with trees and flowers. The Animagique Theater, still playing Mickey and the Magician, will have large format posters outside. Spaces for those very famous Walt Disney Studios food trucks will be available throughout these areas, and one thing that this change will accomplish is somehow separate the Hollywood theme from the Worlds of Pixar area, as you can see by the change in the flooring and fences. the Animagic Theater will be in this transition from one to the other, still being a part of the theater district. One thing that was revealed on D23's special event this week was the transformation of the Toon Studio's meet and greet area, which will now be themed accordingly to the land in which it's placed, and feature many Pixar pals in the background. One special detail that I found very interesting about this transformation is that the famous Luxo lamps will now be included here as well. Going back to the 3D models, as you might have noticed, the new pavements will include two areas, a street and what seems to be a sidewalk. This makes it stand out more, which will also work well as a parade should be coming down when the Frozen and Lake expansion opens. Let's now move to the other side of production courtyard, Place des Stars. This has been one of the worst areas of the park since opening, mainly because it's a huge flat area with nothing in it. The good news is that it will be shrunk down quite a bit with the addition of many planters and trees around the area. I'm sure it will feel a lot more welcoming. This large square is indeed necessary because of the different shows that are played on Tower of Terror. As you can see, similarly to what happens on the other side, the street fades away on the plaza. This will make Theater District quite uniform and balanced. Talking about theaters, don't forget that starting this summer, a new Pixar-themed show will be played on the Cinemagique Theater, called Together. Very excited for that. I personally think that the new Place des Stars Plaza is pretty nice. Seeing that it's necessary, it's nice that they are updating the area. Now, one big part of the puzzle that's still missing is the transformation of Studio One. This has been filed by Disney and will happen very soon, but what it will incorporate is still to be revealed. There have been many rumors and many mumblings, but nothing is set in stone. It would make sense to make the exit to the park from inside the studio a famous theater facade, which was in fact a rumor because of the theater district. But I guess we'll have to wait, as Disney really doesn't seem like wanting to release this information. This does tie in with how the OutsidEars article ends. Studio One's theme will be centered around a garden party of a big cinema premiere. So it does indeed make sense you'd walk into a theater and emerge inside the screen as you get ready to explore many movie worlds. Now, in terms of when, this whole transformation from the theater district to Studio One will take some time, especially because of how the works will progress with the park still open. We know that the works will begin later this year in November 2023 and take until May 2025. This will give Disney 18 months of construction time. We are also expecting Studio One to close down later this year to begin the works needed. So if you enjoy that area of the park, you should visit soon. Well, that's it for this side of Walt Disney Studios Park. I honestly love how they're not only expanding the park, but refurbishing what was already there, because it really needed that. With all the greenery, new paths, and no more concrete, the park will feel so much more alive and have a completely different atmosphere. Remember to subscribe if you enjoyed, and check the OutsidEars article down below, as they did an incredible job. And now, as always, thank you for watching, and to our patrons for supporting, and that's a wrap.